All right, today we're going over how to get rid of those love handles so you can kiss that big, beautiful muffin top that bulges out of your skinny jeans goodbye. So if you're ready, let's get after it. So this video came about because I still get a ton of messages from people asking, hey, what's the best exercise to get rid of these love handles? And while I don't watch everybody else's content, I've seen some of the titles. The ones like the best 7-minute muffin top workout that will literally melt fat and make your junk 3 inches bigger. So safe to assume that there's a hefty bag full of bull being served. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. As much as I like to come up with creative exercises and workouts, I can't reach between my cheeks and pull out an exercise that's going to magically make you less of a jiggly mess. So I'm going to break this video down into 3 parts. First, going over the most effective diets you can follow to trim that waistline. I'll give you the pros and cons of each. Then I'll give you some tips and hacks you can use to make it easier not to screw up said diet. And finally, go over the truth about training your obliques. All right, let's first start out with carb cycling. Usually done with a high, medium, and low carbohydrate day. Now, the high day is hypercaloric. You're getting about 2 to 2.5 grams of carbohydrates per pound of body weight. The medium day is basically maintenance calories, about a 0.5 gram per pound of body weight. And the low day is an I hate my life, calorie deficit, no carb day. But anybody who's ever done this before knows you get the best results on the extreme end. So just having high and low carb days, going from hypercaloric to hypo, it's going to get you the best results. All right, pros and cons. One of the benefits is you can program those high days around your most demanding body parts. So your legs, your back, or you can use them to fuel the workouts of your lagging body parts in an attempt to bring them up. Also, it's just an incredibly effective way to diet. And for the cons, it's hard as hell to stick to. On the high carb days, you're going to be giggling like a schoolgirl. And on the low carb days, you're going to be tempted to go lay in the middle of the street. You also have to give up junk food as a whole because there's really no place for garbage calories in a diet like this. And just a little aside, the benefits you're going to receive from those really high carb days and fueling your workouts, you might not see for the first 2 weeks because your stomach will not be used to those carbohydrates. You're going to spend half of the workout blowing them out in the bathroom. All right, next up, we got intermittent fasting. And this is one of my favorite diets for people that are roughly this big and bigger because it's tough to screw up. The most common way to do it is a 16-8, which is a 16-hour fast, 8-hour window. Now, that's really geared towards the general population that start their day off by butt chugging a 400-calorie drink from Starbucks. The better ways to do it are the warrior diet, which is a 20-hour fast, 4-hour window, or whatever's cooler than a warrior, where you do a 23-hour fast and just one giant meal. If you want me to name it, I will. We'll call it the Mega Chode. So some of the pros are, like I said, it's pretty hard to screw up, but also you can get away with eating some not so great things during your window, like a whole fucking loaf of bread, and still get results. Also, you're going to enjoy a consistent amount of energy throughout the day because you're not screwing with your blood sugar, so you won't be sitting in the corner looking like you're jamming out by yourself. And the biggest con is there's no way to get the amount of protein you need to put on muscle during your window. And even if you could, there's no way to utilize all that. So the only thing you can hope for is to maintain your muscle mass while you're dropping body fat. Little side note, anytime I've done this myself or advised somebody else, always have them push their eating window towards the end of the day. You're going to get the same results and you're going to be able to sleep at night. If you try to push your eating window in the morning, good luck sleeping through those hunger pains and tears. And last but not least, because this is my go-to, a keto style of diet. Now, traditionally, this is done where you have high fat, moderate protein, basically no carbs. So the macro percentages work out to be something like 70% fat, 25% protein, and then 5% carbs because those stupid trace carbs are everywhere. But instead, I found that if you focus less on trying to get yourself in ketosis and instead on just getting good monosaturated fats as your energy source, you're going to get better results. And you definitely don't have to worry about me being biased because all diets suck. Now, the pros of this one are you're going to feel more satiated throughout the day because you have fat with every single meal. Also, you can program in cheat meals, or in my case, an entire cheat day, and it makes it so it's a diet you can do in perpetuity. And the cons are, by the end of the week, you're going to hit a wall hard. By the time you get to that refeed meal, you're definitely going to need it. Also, you're going to have to learn how to train with your pent-up hunger as your energy source because you really don't have much but fat, and that's not the same as delicious carbs. Tip number 1, which is the most important when it comes to losing those love handles, is of those 3 diets, which one can you do without fail? Which one can you do consistently without falling off, even if it yields you less results? Because it'll get you further in the long run. And everybody's different. I know for me personally, I can't do carb cycling. Eventually, I f it up. I start justifying crazy things. Once you get a little carbs in my stomach, next thing I know, I'm in the kitchen bottomless making Rice Krispie treats. Tip number 2, throw away all the junk in your house. And if you're going to sit there and say, I can't, my kids love goldfish crackers. No shit. All kids love goldfish crackers. One of the best experiences I ever had was working with a single mom who had 4 kids who wanted her entire family to start eating healthier, but more specifically, one of the daughters was not gifted with the same genetics that everybody else got, and she was 100 pounds overweight. So I went over there with a 50-gallon trash can, put it in the center of the kitchen, and I said, all right, we're going to throw away all your junk food. And I prefaced it. I said, don't worry, It's not a waste if you throw it away. It was a waste when you bought it. At first, the kids were hesitant. The first one to do it reached into the pantry, grabbed some mac and cheese, stared at their mom the entire time, and slowly, softly put it in there. But by the end of it, I had the mom jumping off the counter, slam dunking bagels in there because they all had fun with it. But on top of that, it empowered the girl who was suffering the most, but it also opened up the conversation of, what's really going on, because at that level, it's not just, I'm having, seconds and thirds while we're eating. You get a whole buffet under your bed. Which brings me to the last tip. Get somebody to hold you accountable. If you have a partner, just have that conversation and say, hey, I want to clean up my act. Not because I want to cheat on you with a prettier person. I'm just tired of looking like this. Or even better, just tag me on Instagram. I'll check the post and then I'll recheck it a month from now. And if you're still a chubby mess, I'll let you know. And I'll end this with the question or the hot topic that everybody talks about. Should you actually train your obliques? Depends. If you're actually going to follow through with a diet and get the results, then yeah, you'll actually see more definition. You'll build those obliques up more. But if you're just a habitual failure of diets, no, it's just going to make your waist blockier. And your obliques are one of the easiest to train. You can hit them in that transverse plane. You can go side crunch. You can grab a single handle and do a slight twist. It's all going to work because that's not the biggest issue. The issue is your shit diet. And I've said this before, you can't out-crunch a shit diet. So if you haven't got a chance to check out the 30-day program where everybody is just flooring themselves, it's a pretty incredible group of sick individuals. I'll leave that link below. And if you haven't seen these 2 videos, check those out next. But most importantly, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.